What happens when a man stops searching for approval and starts living fully in his truth? Chosen one, something deep inside you has changed. And even if you didn't notice it at first, the world around you did. The women who cross your path feel it, even if they can't explain it. It's not because of how you look, how you walk, or the sound of your voice. It's the energy you now carry. You no longer move like a man who is chasing something outside of himself. You move like a man who has found his center, like a force that remembers where it comes from. There is something ancient in you now, something strong, steady, and quiet. You don't need to speak to be understood. You don't change who you are to make others comfortable. You don't ask to be seen. You simply are, and that alone demands attention without a single word. When you enter a space, the air shifts, rooms fall quieter. People glance at you for just a little longer. Women feel it most of all. They sense something in you that they can't describe, but they can't ignore. Your presence pulls at them, stirs something deep inside them, something they didn't even know was waiting. They feel drawn to you without knowing why. They feel unsettled, but in a way that excites them. They don't know why they want to be close to you, why your calm silence awakens a longing in them. They just do. You've become the mystery they didn't realize they were hoping to find. Not because you are hiding or trying to be mysterious, but because you are no longer easy to reach. You are no longer open to be consumed mindlessly. Your presence is like a fire that offers warmth, but cannot be taken. And because of this, they feel attached to you before they even understand you. You didn't lure them in. You didn't promise anything. You simply were. And that was enough to stir something powerful in them. A feeling of wanting to keep you close. Not out of love or trust at first, but out of fear of losing something they can't even name. This has nothing to do with playing games or trying to control anyone. This is what happens when a man evolves. You've done the hard work inside yourself. You've gone beyond shallow displays of strength and stepped into true power. You don't need to show off. You don't need to seek attention. You don't chase it, you hold it. And that is rare. Women are used to men who beg for their gaze, who shrink themselves for approval, who wear fake confidence like a mask. But you wear confidence like it is part of you. It's natural. It's real. It doesn't waver. And this makes women protective of the space you create. They don't want to lose it, even if they don't know why. Your silence isn't emptiness. It's control. Your stillness isn't cold. It's grounded and sure. The longer they are near you, the more they realize they've never felt anything quite like it. And when something is rare, people want to hold on to it. They sense that you are not waiting for someone to make your life whole. And this makes them want to belong to what you have, not because you asked, but because walking away from you feels like leaving something sacred behind. Your magnetism is no longer something you try to create. It just exists. You don't need to speak or act a certain way. Your very being changes the room. You pull people in without effort. What you pull in is not chaos. It is respect. It is longing. It is admiration. Women don't just want to touch you. They want to be seen by you, known by you. You don't flash your strength. You don't chase attention. The fact that you don't need to be noticed is what makes you unforgettable. Women feel safe with you but also challenged. They are warmed by you, but kept on their toes. They begin to crave what they can't fully explain. Your calm, your restraint, the way you burn with desire, but do not chase. The way you want without desperation. The way you hold your energy like a king holds his court. Calm, firm, selective. You've become the man who listens more than he speaks. The man whose quiet says more than loud words ever could. The man whose smallest touch can lift a weight from someone's shoulders. Women don't want you because you offer them everything. They want you because you offer them presence. And presence is rare. It's not something you can fake. It's not something you can learn in a book. It's something you earn through hardship, through silence, through growing stronger over time. You have suffered for it. You have bled into your boundaries. You have learned the power of holding back. You don't give your energy away like confetti. You keep it close. And women feel that. They feel protected in your space. And that makes them want to stay. Not to own, not to conquer, but to belong. Some will misunderstand your energy. They will think your calm is a trick to seduce. They will think your silence is a game. But it's not. You're not trying to be irresistible. You've simply stopped resisting yourself. You are fully in your own body, your own breath, your own strength. And when a man becomes that steady, he becomes undeniable. He becomes the man others want to keep near, even if they don't know why. You don't have to act hard to get. You don't have to hide. You are simply true to yourself, and that makes your presence feel honest and rare. You don't play games. Your leaving is not punishment. You simply go where you are received, and you leave where you are not. That rhythm makes people want to hold you close. You remind them of something they didn't know they missed. And once they feel it, they don't want to let it go. You don't return just because someone asks. And that boundary forces them to grow or move on. Most don't want to move on. You have made them feel alive, seen, safe, without making promises or trying to take anything. And when that kind of presence disappears, it leaves a quiet ache. Your presence doesn't push. It grounds. When you leave, your absence speaks louder than most people's words. Women don't fear your anger or your rejection. What shakes them is the thought that you might not return. You don't beg for attention. You don't try to make people chase you, but they remember you, not just as someone they met, but as a feeling that lingers. Your energy touched something ancient in them, something deep, something beyond words, and that stays with them. They might call it attraction, chemistry, or curiosity, but what you really did was wake something inside them that had been sleeping. You didn't try to win them over. You simply stood in your truth. You didn't look at them to take. You looked and truly saw them. And that created a bond stronger than words. That is what makes you unforgettable. Your presence is a quiet strength that can't be faked. It's the way you see without needing to speak, the way you listen without rushing to fill the silence. And that silence, that calm, is what stays with people long after you've gone. They feel your absence like a missing piece. They remember how your energy made them feel about themselves. That's what draws them. That's what keeps them protective of your space. Not because they want to own you, but because what they felt with you was rare, sacred, and not something they can find anywhere else. Your energy moved them, changed them, and left a mark that won't fade. You didn't try to create this effect. You didn't try to be desired. You simply became yourself fully. And in doing so, you became the man they can't forget. They don't even realize they're ready to face what's waking inside them. When the truth of their feelings hits, it feels sacred, too precious to lose. So, without knowing why, they hold on. They protect your memory. They stay close because your energy has become part of their breath, their body, their story. It's not about drama or trying to impress. It's about truth. And truth doesn't leave quietly. It stays with them, deep and unshakable. Your energy no longer speaks through big gestures or loud words. It speaks in silence, in presence. It speaks through a quiet hunger that you don't show, but others feel near you. This isn't hunger that asks for anything. It's the kind that makes others feel empty just standing beside you. You don't talk about what you want. You don't chase. You don't need to. Your presence carries your desire, your strength, your truth. And that's what draws them. That's what makes them protective, not because of what you do, but because of what they feel in your energy. Your silence pulls them in. Your eyes stir thoughts they never dared admit. What captures them isn't what you give, it's what you hold back. And you don't hold back to play games. You hold back because you're full. You're not searching for something to fill you. You are what others are searching for. That's what makes them crave you in ways they don't even understand. You stopped giving pieces of yourself to everyone who looked your way. You stopped trying to please people just to feel seen. Now, when you give even a little, a glance, a pause, it lights something in them. They feel it as something sacred, and they want more. Not because you promised anything, but because they felt something real. You didn't give them a fantasy. You woke something true. You reminded them that desire can be spiritual, that connection can be slow, deep, and alive. And now, they don't want just anyone. They want you. Not your money, not your approval, not your body, your attention. Because when you give it, it makes them feel seen in a way they didn't know they needed. They grow protective of you, not from insecurity, but because they don't want anyone else to feel what they felt. Your energy doesn't seduce. It heals. It doesn't chase. It draws people in. And the more they feel it, the more they see they're not just drawn to you, they're drawn to parts of themselves that woke up because of you. That's why they're afraid to lose you. Not because you claim them, but because their soul whispered, "This is it." They don't want to put you on a pedestal for pride. They want to keep you close because nothing else feels as real or safe. You didn't feed their hunger. You made them realize they've been starving. There was a time you gave your energy away, hoping to feel enough. But now, you've learned to hold your fire. You don't need to show it. Your warmth, and that quiet fire draws people in. They see it in your calm, your stillness, the way you move with quiet strength. You could take, but you choose not to. That choice, that self-control, makes them feel wonder, respect, and longing. You stopped giving to those who couldn't hold what you offered. Now your fire stays inside, and people feel its tension before they see it. They want to stay near it. And because you don't give it away easily, they feel protective. Your energy seems to whisper, If I ever gave myself fully, it would change you. And that thought keeps them close. They don't know why they want to stay near. They just do. It's not about owning you. It's about staying close to something rare. You have become the man who doesn't chase warmth because you are warmth. You don't spill hunger. You use it to fuel yourself. In a world full of takers, you've become the one who could give, but waits until the space is ready. You don't want to be consumed. You want to be understood. And so you walk alone, not in bitterness, but in quiet power. And that power invites people not to take, but to rise. Few can, and those who can't want to protect what they can't have. Your fire isn't dangerous. It's sacred. It warms what's worthy. People know that if you offered it fully, they'd never be the same. They don't fall for your words. They fall for your control. They don't crave your affection. They crave your true intention. And the fire you hold inside, the fire you don't give away easily, is what makes them want to protect it. Real power doesn't shout. It shines. You are no longer just wanted. You are quietly, deeply cherished. In that rare space where someone wants to hold you close and honor you at the same time, devotion is born. You don't seek praise. You simply live your truth. And that truth calls others to remember who they are. They feel the pull, the ache, but beneath it is something deeper, the feeling of standing before something sacred, something they want to guard. They don't want others to touch what they felt. They long for you, but they respect your freedom. And in that tension, they fall not into lust, but into devotion that they never asked for. You are not just wanted anymore. You are unforgettable. You didn't ask for this. You didn't plan it. You simply became who you are, and that truth became too sacred to touch carelessly. And so, they carry the memory of you as something they can't lose, something that stays.
Have you been quietly wondering what's happening to you? Have you noticed that your sex drive, the cravings, the desires, the thoughts that once filled your mind so often seem to have faded into silence? And in the quiet of that change, have you asked yourself, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel so different? Chosen one, let me tell you gently and clearly, nothing is wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not crazy. And this is not some mistake or accident. This is something sacred. This is God's hand at work in your life, shaping you, guiding you, protecting you, and preparing you for something far greater than what you can see right now. This is not a loss. This is a divine shift. This is your soul rising, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. When God calls you higher, when He chooses you for a greater purpose, parts of your old self begin to fall away. What once felt important no longer feels the same. What once pulled at you so strongly no longer has the same hold on your heart. The desires of the body, the urges that once seemed so loud, now grow quiet. And this is not a punishment. This is not meant to take joy from you. This is God lifting you above the temporary pleasures of this world so that He can lead you into something eternal. The fading of your sexual desire is not a curse. It is a hidden blessing. It is God's quiet way of whispering to you, it's time to step higher. It's time to become who I created you to be. It's time to prepare for the purpose I have set for you. What feels like emptiness at first is actually space being made for something greater. Your sexual energy is not just a physical thing. It is life force. It is sacred power. It is the creative energy that brings life into the world, that fuels dreams, that shapes destinies. But now, God is calling that energy back inside you. No longer is it meant to be scattered on fleeting moments or temporary pleasures. Now, it is being gathered so that it can help you grow, heal, awaken your gifts, and strengthen your spirit. God is saving your energy for what truly matters. He is preparing you for a mission that will not only change your life, but touch the lives of many. This is not about taking something from you. This is about preparing you for something bigger than you can imagine. And because God loves you so deeply, He is protecting you. Many people do not realize how deeply intimacy connects two souls. It is not just of the body, it is of the spirit. When you join with another person in that way, your energy mixes with theirs. And if they carry pain, fear, darkness, or struggles, those energies can cling to you. They can weigh you down, confuse you, block your blessings, and pull you off the path meant for you. So when God removes your desire for empty connections, He is not being harsh. He is being kind. He is keeping you safe. He is wrapping you in His protection so that nothing outside of His plan for you can interfere with the beautiful future He has written for your life. What may feel like a restriction is actually mercy. It is God's way of saying, I am keeping you pure. I am keeping you ready. I am keeping you free, because what He is preparing you for is not just any relationship. It is something sacred, a connection that will not only bring love, but will lift your soul. The fading of old desires is part of the cleansing. God is helping you let go of ties that were shallow, connections that were built on the temporary, so that you can make room for what is true. What is coming into your life is not just another partner. It is someone chosen, someone meant for you, someone who will help you grow in your purpose. This is not a love that simply touches your body. This is a love that awakens your soul. This is a love that helps you rise into the person God made you to be. But first, you must be whole. You must be free from what no longer serves you. And so, God is preparing you. He is helping you release what once tied you to what was not meant for you, so that you can be ready for what is. As this change happens inside you, it can feel like a part of you is dying. But let me tell you, this is not death as in loss. This is death as in transformation. The part of you that was once ruled by cravings, by the pull of the flesh, is stepping aside so that your higher self can rise. You are being made new. You are being shaped not by the world, but by God's own hands. The temptations that once held power over you no longer have a hold. Your vision is becoming clear. Your heart is becoming strong. Your spirit is rising. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are not losing. You are gaining. You are being lifted into the light of your true purpose. So, chosen one, if you have felt this change within yourself, if you have wondered what it means, let this bring you peace. You are not broken. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. God is working in your life in ways you may not fully see yet, but everything He is doing is for your good. You are chosen. You are loved. You are rising. Trust this process. Trust this path. The best is not behind you. It is ahead of you, and everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Let's take a moment to look at what's really happening all around us. This world, the one we wake up to every day, is filled with messages, images, and temptations that try to pull us away from who we truly are. Everywhere you look, on your phone, on TV, in ads, in conversations you overhear, there's this constant push of sexual energy. It's so normal now that many people don't even notice it anymore. But if you pause and think about it, you'll see how strong and heavy this influence really is. And the truth is, this didn't happen by chance. It's not an accident. It's part of a plan that was set up to trap people, to keep their minds distracted, to weaken their hearts, and to make them forget the purpose God placed inside of them. When sexual energy is misused, when it's wasted on things that don't feed the soul, it becomes like a prison. People get caught in cycles of addiction and shame. They feel empty, lost, and disconnected from the powerful, beautiful light that God put inside them. They keep reaching for something to fill the emptiness, but it never truly satisfies. And so they stay stuck, going in circles, further and further from the life they're meant to live. But here is the hope that shines through the darkness. God sees all of this. God knows what's happening to His children, and He loves us too much to let us stay trapped. In His great wisdom and love, God steps in to break the harmful cycle. When you start to notice that your sexual urges are quieter, or when your desires begin to change, it's not because you're broken or being punished. It's because God is doing a deep work in you. He is cleansing you. He is helping you detox from all the poison this world has poured into your spirit. He's freeing you from the lies that feed your body but leave your soul starving. He's clearing out the clutter that once filled your mind and weighed down your heart. What you're going through is not random. It's not meaningless. It's a divine reset. God is pressing pause on the noise so you can hear His voice again. He's helping you remember who you really are. He's bringing you back to clarity, to focus, to peace, and to the powerful purpose He gave you before you were even born. And as this cleansing happens, something beautiful begins to take place deep within you. The sexual energy that once pulled you outward, that was wasted on things that drained you, doesn't just vanish. No, it changes. It transforms into something greater. Instead of flowing out and leaving you empty, that energy turns inward. It starts to awaken the gifts God placed in you long ago. Your mind becomes sharper. Your heart becomes more sensitive to what's real and true. Your intuition, that inner knowing, starts to grow stronger. You begin to notice things you missed before, the signs, the patterns, the gentle nudges from God that guide your steps. You begin to hear His voice, not just in your prayers, but in the quiet moments, in the small details of your daily life. Suddenly, the world starts to look different. You see the messages the universe is sending you. You feel the presence of God guiding you, comforting you, calling you closer. Your spiritual gifts, whether it's wisdom, healing, vision, or the ability to sense what is good and true, begin to wake up inside of you, and you realize something powerful. This journey isn't about losing anything. It's about transforming. The energy that was once scattered and wasted is now lifting you higher, helping you create the life you're meant to live, and drawing you closer to God. And here's something so important to understand. Your sexual energy and your creative energy are the same. They come from the same place. It's the force of creation itself. It's the power that can create life, art, music, dreams, and new beginnings. When God asks you to hold on to that energy, when He calls you to stop wasting it on things that don't feed your soul, He isn't taking something from you. He's giving you a chance to use that energy for something greater. As you hold it inside, it starts to build. It grows stronger, like a river gaining power as it flows. Your thoughts become clearer. Your focus becomes sharper. Your willpower becomes stronger. You start to attract blessings into your life. Opportunities begin to appear. Doors open that were once closed. Miracles begin to happen in ways you couldn't have imagined. You find yourself surrounded by people who lift you up, not pull you down. You see new paths, new chances, new beginnings that match who you truly are. This happens because you're no longer leaking your energy into things that leave you empty. Instead, you're using that powerful force to build the life God always wanted for you. A life filled with peace, purpose, love, and joy. And this transformation isn't just about you. It's so much bigger than that. Many of you, the chosen ones, were born into families where broken patterns have been passed down for generations. Patterns of lust, betrayal, broken relationships, and pain. These cycles have caused harm again and again. But you were chosen to be the one who breaks those chains. The change happening inside you, the quieting of your desires, the shift in your heart, it isn't just for your own healing. It's for the healing of your whole family line. You're standing at the point where the pain stops and the healing begins. You're the one God has chosen to bring light where there was darkness, to bring hope where there was sorrow, to open the door for future generations to walk in freedom. God is lifting you higher. He is taking you to a place where the old distractions can't follow, where the old traps can't reach you. Your mission is sacred. Your purpose is holy. You were created to lead, to heal, to guide others toward the light. And for that to happen, the lower desires that once pulled you off track have to fall away. God is purifying your heart. He's making your soul stronger. He's shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. This is not a mistake. This is not some random suffering. This is part of your journey. God is working on you with love and care. He's refining you, shaping you, helping you become whole. This is spiritual surgery, and like any healing process, it may feel hard at times, but it is good. It is holy. Trust what's happening. Trust the timing. In time, your sexual energy will return, but this time it will serve your purpose. It will lift you up instead of pulling you down. It will bring love, not shame. It will build, not break. It will help you fulfill the beautiful mission God gave you. If something in this message speaks to your soul, if you feel seen, heard, understood, or encouraged, don't keep that feeling inside. Let it show. Type 111 in the comments as a sign that you are ready for the blessings God has prepared for you. Let the universe see that you are chosen, that you are ready, that you are in alignment with your true path. This might be the message that helps them see clearly and take their next step forward. And remember, always remember, you are not crazy. You are not broken. You are chosen. You are loved. Walk in your light. Stay blessed. Stay protected. And keep rising. This is your time. This is your calling. and you are not alone.
Have you ever wondered why, without saying a single word, without even trying, you can walk into a room and feel all eyes quietly shift toward you? Have you noticed how the air changes? How people seem to pause? How women seem to sense something about you that they can't explain? It's not your walk, not your voice, not your face, or your smile. It's something deeper, something older. It's your energy. Your energy reaches into a room before you do. It fills the space like warm air before a fire, like the hush before a storm. People feel it, especially women. They feel it in places within themselves they forgot even existed. It doesn't speak with words. It speaks through a pull, a soft but powerful force that draws them in. And that pull doesn't come from effort or force or trying too hard. It comes from presence, from the quiet, unshakable presence of a man who has come home to himself. You are no longer chasing, no longer hunting, no longer needing. You are resting in who you are, and that stillness shines brighter than noise. It calls to people in a way that can't be ignored. You don't pretend. You don't beg for attention. You don't wear masks. You simply are. And that truth hums through your whole being. When you enter, something in others wakes up. Something deep. They may not know what it is, but they feel it. You are not just a man anymore. You have become a signal, a quiet fire, a calm storm, a steady force that speaks of safety, of power that does not harm, of strength that does not crush. Women who are tired of games, tired of masks, tired of empty charm, they sense it in you. Your energy tells them they can feel again, they can trust again, they can breathe again. You don't shout to be seen. You don't try to impress. That's what makes you impossible to ignore. You have stopped trying to be interesting. And that is why you are unforgettable. What draws them isn't your looks, your style, or your words. It's something deeper. You have become still, even in a world that rushes and brags and begs. And that stillness pulls people in like nothing else. It's not loud or flashy. It's quiet, but sure. Women feel it, not in their eyes, but in their breath, their chest, their hearts. They are drawn before they understand why. Not to your face or hands, but to the warmth they sense in you. A heat that stays under control. A fire that doesn't burn, but invites. You are no longer wasting energy chasing what isn't for you. Now they come to you, not because you ask them to, but because your soul stands firm. There is a gravity in you now. Without a word, you shift attention, bend the air, change the direction of a room. You don't have to speak loudly or stay long. Your presence alone is enough. The way you move, the way you hold yourself, the way you look around with calm eyes, it all draws people in. Because you've stopped pretending. You've become yourself. And that chosen one is what makes you magnetic. You have learned what few ever do. That true power isn't in chasing, showing off, or demanding attention. True power is in presence, in being fully here, in being at peace with who you are, and that peace spreads. Women want to feel what you feel. They want to touch the calm strength that lives in you. You don't need to reach for them. You've already touched something deep inside them, without a word, because what pulls them isn't hunger, isn't need. It's the truth of who you are. You don't chase attention. You become the center of it. That kind of quiet strength stays with people long after you're gone. Your power is not loud. It does not try to control or scare. It simply shines. And in that light, others find their place. You're dangerous, not because you harm, but because you don't. Your fire warms without burning. Your confidence steadies without pride. And because of that, women feel safe. They feel seen, not small, not judged. You give them room to be themselves. You don't need to take from them to feel whole. You don't shrink them to feel big. You simply stay true to yourself, and that is what draws them in. You have mastered your own storms. Your fire gives light now. It doesn't destroy, and in that light, women feel safe to be real. Your energy no longer reaches out to take. It holds. It gives space. It sees. And that is what draws people in. They don't want to own you. They want to be near your warmth because it helps them feel whole too. You don't force your power. You carry it with care. And that makes it even stronger because you could take, but you choose to care. And that makes your presence feel like home. What draws them is not charm, not looks, not words. It's depth. It's what you hold back, what you no longer feel the need to explain. You don't share to be seen. You don't speak to be heard. You simply are. And that draws people in. They sense in your silence a place worth knowing. And that can't be faked. It has to be lived. They feel it in your look, in your calm way of listening, in your careful words. Your silence feels alive. You don't try to be mysterious. You simply don't chase attention. And that makes people want to see you more. You don't need them to fill any emptiness. And that makes your energy clear and strong. They don't want to fix you. They want to understand you. They want to come closer to the peace you carry. Every look from you is like an open door, but you never say what's inside. And that quiet pull excites people. They know that if you ever open up, it will be because you choose to, not because they forced it. Your desire is steady now, not scattered. Your control adds to your mystery. You don't chase, but you aren't cold. You feel, but you don't grab. People feel you feel, but they don't know what you'll do next. And that makes them want to come closer. You are no longer just a man. You are a question, holding answers they forgot they were looking for. They don't just want to touch you. They want to know what being near you wakes up inside them. That curiosity is not about pride. It's about wanting to feel real. You're not something to be used. You're a presence to be experienced. A story to be discovered. Your eyes are not just windows to your soul. They are both a storm and a shelter. When you look at someone, you don't scan or stare. You see. And when you see, something in them lets go, not in fear, but in relief they didn't know they needed. Your gaze invites. It shows them truths they were hiding even from themselves. You don't perform. You're present, and that presence is unforgettable. When you give someone your full attention, they feel it in a way that is hard to explain. It's like an invisible wave that touches their skin, moves through their chest, and reaches their breath. It touches places inside them that they thought had gone quiet a long time ago. Your eyes carry the story of everything you've lived through. The nights you sat alone with your anger, the mornings when you forgave yourself for feeling broken, the hours when you chose peace instead of reacting. Your eyes show all of this, and when you look at her, she doesn't just see a man standing in front of her. She sees a reflection of her own hidden depths. That's why her body reacts in ways she didn't plan. That's why she feels nervous, why her voice shakes, why her heart beats faster. Because your eyes don't just look at her, they see through the walls she built to protect herself. Your eyes don't strip away her clothes, they strip away her defenses. And she knows, deep in her bones, that this moment is not about sex or desire. It's about something far more rare and powerful. It's about being truly seen, with nothing to hide behind. That's what makes your energy so powerful. You don't need to touch her to make her feel it. You could be standing on the other side of the room, silent, and it would still reach her. Not because you're trying to control anything, but because you are simply honest. Your eyes don't play games. They hold space. They carry both desire and respect. They hold longing, but also self-control. You see the sacredness in the sensual, and that's why your gaze feels different. She doesn't know whether she wants to run away, cry in your arms, or kiss you, because she knows, once you've really seen her, she can't go back to hiding. You've touched something deep inside her without ever laying a hand on her. And that kind of closeness is rare. It's real. And realness is always a little terrifying, especially for someone who has been wanted for how they look, but never truly known for who they are. You don't flinch when her softness shows. You don't retreat when her feelings grow stronger. You meet her eyes like a man who has faced his own shadows and isn't afraid of hers. And in that steady gaze, she feels safe, not because you promised her anything, but because your presence makes her feel safe. Your gaze is like the quiet pause between music notes, the space where the soul hears. You can rest now. You can come home. That is why she feels drawn to you. Because in your eyes, she sees what she didn't even know she was missing. A man who doesn't look at her to own her, but to remind her she belongs to herself. You've stepped into a place where being real matters more than pretending. Your confidence isn't something you wear like armor. It is in the way you breathe, in the way you exist. You don't have to speak loudly or take up extra space. Your presence changes the energy of the room simply because you are at peace with yourself. You don't need applause anymore. You don't look around for approval. You've learned that the only witness you ever truly needed was that quiet part of you that stayed through it all. The part that saw you struggle, rise, fall, and grow stronger. That part of you is fully awake now, and it knows who you are. That is why your confidence cannot be copied. It isn't a show. It's the natural result of everything you've been through. And women sense it. They feel it before they can explain it. They feel it in the way you don't try too hard, in the way your gaze is steady and sure. You're not chasing attention anymore. You're at peace with being alone. And that's why, when you choose someone's company, it means something real. And that kind of man draws people in. When you speak, there is no rush. When you move, there is no doubt. When you smile, it's not for show. It's honest. And women can feel the weight behind that smile. They can feel the years it took to get there, The nights you chose growth over distraction. The mornings you chose discipline over comfort. Your smile carries the history of your becoming, and they want to understand it. They want to know what kind of man walks through fire and comes out with eyes still soft and steps still steady. You're not impressive because of what you say. You're impressive because of what you've survived, what you've kept sacred, what you never gave away. Your confidence is not loud. It's in the way you stay true to yourself. You don't shrink or expand to make others comfortable. You sit in your truth like a man who knows he belongs. And women don't just notice it, they trust it. Even those who can't put it into words feel it. They laugh longer, breathe deeper, feel safer, not because of anything you do, but because of who you are. You have become the kind of man who stays steady no matter where he is. Your center doesn't depend on where you are. It depends on who you are. That is why people, especially women, want to be near you. Your confidence doesn't ask for permission. It gives permission. It invites others to stop pretending and start being real. And when a woman meets a man like that, something inside her softens. She feels like she can finally breathe out a breath she didn't know she was holding. What people remember about you isn't what you did while you were there. It's what stays after you're gone. Your presence leaves behind a feeling that lingers. It doesn't leave emptiness. It leaves a hum, a warmth, a quiet echo. It replays moments in their hearts, especially in women. They don't just miss you, they feel you in places they didn't even know could feel. You don't need to try to be unforgettable. You just are. Because what you give isn't a show or a temporary thrill. What you give is realness, and realness leaves a mark that lasts. Your energy doesn't shout for attention. It carries grace, strength, and control. You didn't need to touch anyone to change the space around you. That's why people laugh differently around you, why they pause, why they lean in without knowing why. Even in silence, you leave something behind. You have mastered the art of leaving a deep mark, not by taking, but by reminding. You remind people of how it feels to be with someone who is real, someone who doesn't have to perform, who doesn't chase, who just is. And that reminder stays with them long after you're gone. You don't draw people in with loud words or bold actions. You draw them in because your presence is true. You don't follow a script. You don't try to fit into a role. You don't play games. You just live in your truth. And that truth changes everything around you. You don't try to be different. You are different because you are fully yourself. And people remember that. Your fire doesn't rage out of control anymore. It burns steady and sure. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to fight to be seen. Your fire is strong, but it's under your control. And that is what draws people in. You don't need to show your power to feel powerful. You carry it in your stillness, in your calm, in your choice to hold back instead of push. And women feel that. They feel the depth in your quiet. They feel the strength in your calm. You don't need to take anything from them to feel whole. You are whole already. And that kind of man draws people closer, not to be owned, but to feel safe enough to come home to themselves. You remind people of what it feels like to be seen, to be safe, to be real. And that is why they want a piece of you. not because you ask for it, but because you invite it without a word.